guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, yummy.com. I am currently stuck in quarantine, so I've been making videos from my basement, as you can probably tell by the recent influx of my channel. I just have a couple questions for celebrities, and most importantly BTS. You guys know that I really love them, and I feel like whenever they're on talk shows, I mean recently they've been doing a lot better, but whenever they're on talk shows they ask the same questions like, who would you like to collab with? When do you think you guys really made it in the States? Who would you like to collab with? Who would you guys really like to collab with? Listen, I personally love when BTS collabs with people, especially when I definitely listen to them when RM collabed with Wale, when they did the whole soundtrack to BTS World. I really love it. When they even did their thing with Halsey, I had recently gotten into Halsey and really loved them, and that's kind of how I gatewayed into this. But I feel like people ask that question way too often. Like, it's kind of crazy how much people ask, who would you like to collab with? Like, it's a little bit diminishing in their own right. So I have some questions for my bias. I highly recommend you guys making your own video and letting me know what you would ask your bias. Now, I could ask questions about the whole group. I have 1,000 questions about the whole group. Like, explain so many situations. What's tasty in Busan? Like, so many great questions that I have to ask for the whole group, especially maybe questions that might be considered inside questions. But for now, I'm gonna ask questions that I have about my bias. If you guys don't know, because you didn't see my bias video, my bias is Suga. King of all kings, rapper of all rappers, with his tongue technology. You know what I mean? Like, he's great. But I have a couple questions for him personally. And these are my questions to him. I encourage you guys to link your videos down below about your questions for your bias. And it doesn't even need to be in BTS. I'm talking all K-pop biases. And maybe if you want to branch out and say you have questions for Drake, maybe questions for Lionel Richie, you could ask those too. So, got my trusty dusty phone, and I've written down some questions for my bias. If you think you have the answer, also link that or write it down below. First question. We've all seen Suga dance, right? We've all seen Min Yoongi dance. Do you think, I recently learned that he had like kind of a dance background. Do you think BTS kind of enhanced that or really helped you hone who you are as a dancer? And how? How did BTS influence you as a dancer? Obviously, you have King of Moves, J-Hope in the group to help you, you know, spread your wings. Obviously, we saw V transfer over to the dance line. How do you think as Suga, as BTS's Suga, and as Min Yoongi, you've changed or grown or found your true sighting as a dancer? Second question, and this one kind of goes for him and RM because I know they're both big fans of Nas. I have to read this one, it's a long one. You said growing up you listened to Nas, which I feel personally I can hear that inspiration in your voice when you rap, along with styles like Busta Rhymes and J. Cole. However, you have a specific tone that adds to your own flair to rapping styles. How would you describe it? How would you describe your tone? How would he describe his flair, the way he weaves through melodic beats? Like, he will go into, him and J-Hope will go into like 3 different rapping styles in one song, and you can see that in Boy With Love. You can see that in a lot of their Dark and Wild stuff. You can see that in a lot of that, but I want to know how you hone that skill in and how you decide which song deserves all 3 Sugas or all 10 Sugas or all 20 Min Yoongis. Who knows? Next question. What is the process when it comes to producing? And what advice would you give a young person who wanted to start? Now, obviously we know he is producer extraordinaire. Roll the clip of him winning his award. And we all know he produced a lot of songs, at least in 2019 or 2018 or 2017. He produced almost 200 songs in a year. And that was clearly when he was less busy, because if he's still producing 200 songs in a year, I'm worried for his health. But I want to know how that style comes about, how you would give guidance to the younger generation who wants to become a producer, and how you think that it's the best way to start to making your own beats and things like that. Like, obviously writing your own lyrics, cool beans, but like the music that rides through it, how do you do that, you know? This is a really good one, because I used to be a pianist when I was younger. And my first song that I like played start to finish, that I remember my recital, like that I really felt passionate about, was Autumn. He does the 4 seasons. They have the 4 seasons, and there's like spring, autumn, like fall, summer, yeah. But I did autumn, my sister did spring. And I want to know which was the first piece that you played from start to finish. Doesn't need to be your own, obviously, but like, what was the first thing as a pianist that you played from start to finish and you truly felt proud of? Now, this is a little bit more of a question for our sports fans, and I love sports, even though they're on hold right now. Darn you, Corona. Who is your favorite basketball player? You often say that basketball is something that inspired you when you were younger and something that you love to play, and you can obviously see that. But who's your favorite basketball player, and what did basketball mean to you growing up? You know, like, what did it mean to you as a kid from Daegu, hooping in the streets? What? This is a little cheesy one. This one's kind of cheesy, like, but I genuinely want to know, what does it feel like to be a beacon for so many people around the world, especially when you have lyrics that literally save lives? Like, I can't say this enough. Like, summer of 2019, if it wasn't for David Dobrik and BTS, I don't think I would have made it through. I know a lot of people feel the same way. I want to know, like, what do you remember, and what does it feel like to not hold so many people's lives in your hands? Obviously, that's like a little too dark, but like, how does it feel to be an inspiration, be something, this kind of beacon of hope for a lot of people?
I want to say seriously thank you to 방탄소년단 for helping us to fight.
And that goes for you and your bandmates, because obviously all of BTS has like shown that they care about their fans immensely, but like, how do they feel? Like, how do they feel knowing that they have changed so many lives at such a big scale? And my last question is, if rap in sorry, whoops, let's start that again. My last question is, in rap, people often use samples. Are you against it? And if you aren't against it, is there any piece of music that you would ever hope to sample or think of sampling or use in one of your own works? Like, maybe not with BTS as a whole, but like maybe on one of your mixtapes, or when is the mixtape dropping? That should be my last question. But like, really, when is the mixtape dropping? We all want to know. Tell us. Are you gonna tell us? When is the mixtape? Anyways, is there a piece of music that maybe means something to you, or maybe doesn't necessarily have to mean something to you, but like helps you think would make great into like one of your mixtapes or even a BTS song? So those are my series of questions for Suga. If he ever sees this, I hope he doesn't see anything else that's on my channel, but if he ever sees this, I would love for those questions to be answered. And if maybe anyone with a late night show who is planning on interviewing BTS could ask those questions, I would really like to know. Obviously, there are more questions, more fun questions, but like on a serious note, I would really love to know these answers, and I'm interested in seeing what other people want to know about their biases. maybe I'll continue this and see what I think about asking questions to Taeyoung, because I've always wanted to pick that brain. But I know we've all wanted to pick that brain. Or maybe RM, like, what was really going through your mind when you were sitting in that park writing that song? But regardless, I'm really glad that they're here. I know we all are. And these are just my few questions for my bias. If you guys want to, you can follow me, subscribe. Hopefully I'll be putting more content out related to BTS and maybe even some more tipsy movie reviews or other stuff. Let me know what you want. My name is Yummy.com. Don't worry, I'll be back. Stay tuned.